Hey everyone, Cerebral Tackle here. And today I wanted to tackle, if you will, a different subject. One that you've seen on a lot of other channels and got a lot of other perspectives on. It's how to be a better co-angler. Now I think my opinion is going to be a bit different from theirs, and I'll tell you why. All these other content creators that are talking about how to be a good co-angler, they're on the pro side. They're kind of telling you what they want kind of out of a co-angler. They have kind of a vested interest in how things roll out. I'm going to give you the facts from a guy who did it for 18 years as a co. So let's get it straight from the horse's mouth. Are you ready? First, do your research when picking a club or a trail that might have a random draw format, right, as a co. Do your research, read the rules. You need to know ahead of time what it is you're getting into. Read the rules front and back. When you go, meet with folks and enter into it for the first time, be respectful. You have to remember, it's like any other social format. There's a bit of a social contract. There is a pecking order, like it or not. Be respectful, be polite, genuinely reach out and try to get to know folks. Remember, whatever you do, don't make waves. There's no need to prove yourself out of the gate. So don't talk about how good you are. You can think you're good, and that's all fine and dandy, but don't go crowing. You're going to lose the respect of the guys, you're going to turn them off, and they're not going to want to fish with you, let alone give up any good information. Trust me, there's a reason why you want to slide into this. Chill out, relax, go with the flow, and follow these next rules. So, you're at the pairings meeting, and you're told who your partner's going to be. Get with them. Discuss what their plans are, what their style of fishing is, what their approach for the day is. Try to get as much information from them as you can. Base your tackle selection around them. I'm not saying bring only what they tell you to bring. I'm saying use what they give you as kind of an outline or a general guideline as to what you want to throw. If they say they plan on being shallow all day, get your shallow stuff ready, your confidence baits. Doesn't mean don't have some deep stuff mixed in there, because you never know if their pattern's going to go to crap and you're going to end up throwing Carolina rigs in 40 foot of water. Be ready for anything, but use what they tell you as a general guideline. Whatever you do, have your confidence baits ready, because 9 times out of 10, that's what's going to save your butt. Next is going to be a big complaint of a lot of boaters. Trust me, I heard it a few times. Don't bog down their boat with a ton of stuff. I'm not saying leave stuff you need behind. Don't dare do that. But bring what you need, what your style is, what suits you. You don't have to bring everything under the sun for every contention. I got the luxury of doing that way later in my career. Much after boaters got the chance to get to know me, they knew what they were dealing with, and essentially, I was a boater in a non-boater's body. I didn't have a boat, but I knew what I was doing. You're not going to get afforded that luxury till way later. By that time, you'll probably have a boat. So, don't bog it down, take what you need, take what you feel comfortable with, and get ready to tackle the day. Next, help your boater out wherever you can. But be honest with yourself and with them about your skill set. Can you back a trailer? If you know how to back a trailer and you can do so safely, do it. Don't say you can when you can't and you end up ramming somebody's crap. Not a good foot to get off on. But if you can help him back in and he wants you to back him in, back him in. He wants you to take the boat off the trailer and beach, do that. Pull it up the dock, do that. Offer to help where you can. Be of use to your boater. Also, help out with ice. See if you can get his ice in the morning. Snacks. A lot of folks don't eat on the water. If he wants some munchies on the water for here and there to kind of get brain food going, if the bite's hard to kind of stimulate the thought process, ask him if he wants you to bring something for him. Reach out that olive branch, maybe even a lunch. No lunch? Hey, offer to take him to a meal when the tournament's over. When it comes to that huge fuel cost, a boater's number one complaint is a co-angler or a non-boater not paying their way. I'm going to tell you how you handle that. Talk to your other co-anglers. Find out what they're paying their boaters. Then you know what you do? You pay double. Yep. You don't want to be known as that guy that stiffs your boater. You want to be known as that guy that takes good care of his boater. Pay double. That way, you're taking that excuse and that complaint out of their mouths for good. A funny side note. Remember when I was talking about possibly packing your boater a lunch? One of the early clubs I fished with, we had a non-boater that always packed his boater a gourmet ham sandwich. I know it just sounds like a sandwich, but this dude took sandwiches to a whole new level. Boaters were actually excited when they drew this old timer because it meant they got to get one of Ernie's ham sandwiches. Little known fact, I was the only co-angler to ever end up with one of Ernie's ham sandwiches. I guess it's a product of the good reputation that I got. Loved Ernie. Wonderful, wonderful dude. One last thing when it comes to helping them out. If there's something you don't know how to do, like let's say back a trailer or beach or pull up to the dock, ask them if they'll teach you in some free time. You might just impress one of these guys enough that they take you under their wing and show you a thing or two. And that can go miles in your fishing career. The biggest thing I can recommend is communication. Not only get to know these guys, but ask them questions. What do they expect of you? What do they want you to do in that boat? Tell them what your style is. Ask them where they want you to cast, where they're comfortable with you casting. Whatever you do, don't throw up the front of the boat and cut them off. That's a no-no. That'll get you a bad name real quick. Now, if they seem interested in what your fishing style is and what you want to do, let them know. Whatever you do, don't waste their time though. Don't go fish a favorite spot on a hunch. Either you know there's an active pattern there or you don't. That's it. It may be a confident spot to you. Don't waste your time or their time on just a hunch, because that's money for both you guys. And let me tell you right here, right now, if their pattern is catching, don't mess with it. Shut up, enjoy your day. The last thing you want to do is insist on pulling them away from fish to go find fish that may or may not be there. That's just bad luck, and that's tempting a horrible freaking day at the scales. So, if what they're on's working, go with it. Let's say you haven't got a bite all freaking day, getting crunch time, then slowly float out some ideas and see if they're receptive. If they bite, great. If they don't, know your role. If at some point or another you feel like you're not getting the casting angles you want and you're getting front-ended, it may be deliberate and it may not. Lightly float out there. Sir, may I hit this spot? May I toss it that real quick? Some of these guys aren't used to having co-anglers, so they're in that thought process of boat control for one, for their own angles only. They might subconsciously forget you're back there. So lightly float it out there. You may trigger something and they may be, oh yeah, I need to give that guy some shots too. A little bit goes a long way. Kind of smoothly work it in and you'll probably end up getting better angles. If you're not and they're just being a jerk and front-ending you, well, that crap does happen too. Whatever you do, kind of find out whether the guy in the front of the boat's a talker or not. Some guys like to chat it up all day. Some guys don't like two words said. As you can imagine, I'm a talker. I've got to gauge that carefully because sometimes I'll put my foot in it. But, you know, if you like to talk like me, that's something to keep in mind. A lot of these guys, cool, calm, collected, and laser focused. Respect that. Don't annoy them. You'll stay on their good side. And at the end of their day, make sure all your stuff's off their boat. Help them clean up the boat. Maybe even offer to help them wipe it down. Shake their hand, thank them for their good day, and tell them you hope you get the pleasure of fishing with them again. Be respectful, nice, courteous, help out. Trust me, it goes a long way with these guys. Whatever you do, have fun, have a good time. And trust me, you'll learn something from everybody you fish with. Sometimes it might be what not to do. I've had a few of those. but guaranteed you will learn something from every single angler you fish behind. So enjoy it. Soak that information up like a sponge. Retain it. Take notes. I'm serious. It will help you. Now, coming up on part 2, we're going to go over how to be a successful non-boater. Now that you know what you're doing and you're in the thick of things and you got your club picked out, how do you improve? That's next on part 2. So, we'll see you again soon. Until next time, keep it wet.